Hi, my name is DJ Lee, and I want to thank Orchid so much for letting me come on the Distant Reading series. It's just great to be a part of the artistic community in a place where we all are isolated from the people we love and the things that we love to do. Orchid and I met at AWP in San Antonio. We were sharing the ASLE booth, the Association for the Study of Literature and the Environment, with the Torrey House Press. And we met there just right before things started to shut down in the US because of the virus. So I'm going to read you a short chapter from my book, and it's chapter 10 out of 32, and it's called Constellation. It even has a picture. It's the summer of 2018. It seems more than a coincidence that a month before my friend went missing, I was on a small commuter boat with a 70-year-old woman, white hair and red round cheeks, whose name I never did learn. A cobalt yoga mat propped next to her deepened her blue, shining eyes. A wobbly table, as you'd see in a diner, was wedged between us. She reached across and touched my hand as a mother would. I accepted the gesture of this stranger as the water grew choppy. I was on my way to a writing workshop at a retreat center on Cortes Island, British Columbia. I had enrolled in the workshop in order to finally organize the wilderness notes, documents, and stories I had been collecting over the years into a narrative, though I can't explain why I chose that specific workshop at that particular time. The woman was going to a constellation workshop. I'd never heard of it. Like astrology, I said. Nothing like that, she said. It's the most marvelous experience. It was hard to explain, she confessed, but then she went on to describe it in vivid detail as if it wasn't hard at all. Our ancestors have issues, she said, and these issues interrupt the family energy field. She leaned as if in confidence, though the boat carried no one else except the driver. Just like when a tree is stunted, it grows in a gnarly, wounded kind of way. A family can develop like that over centuries. Her hair was bundled in a fuzzy donut on the top of her head. It wiggled as the boat bobbed and heaved. There's a protocol to constellation work, she went on. Participants, total strangers to one another, are asked questions by a facilitator. Questions like, who in your family died early? Who died in childbirth? Committed a serious crime? Committed suicide? Who was murdered? Abandoned? Isolated? Excluded? Abused? Wrongly accused? Institutionalized? Who simply disappeared? With these ancestors in mind, one person at a time assigns roles to other workshop participants. The role players act out the situation based on what they feel in the moment. As she was explaining this, she seemed to sense my skepticism through my narrowed eyes, but also my fascination. I knew the power of watching a live play. I've experienced improvisational theater. I tried to envision a spontaneous scene between my grandmother, my grandfather, and the wilderness. Tried to see them standing on a stage in an unfolding performance. I had no idea where such a scene would go. It sounds strange, she said, but in the reenactment, a whole new energy field is created. People take on roles of ancestors or family friends, even living relatives, parents, siblings, uncles and aunts and grandparents. They inhabit those roles, though they know nothing about the situation. I noticed her large, cradle-like arms freckled against her sleeveless purple smock, earrings of tiny silver fish curling into themselves. The point is to remember those who have been excluded and bring them back into the family, into the community, and in so doing, heal the disturbance, she said, like pasts reborn in different lives. I was still thinking about my family of the wilderness, the topic I'd come to the retreat center to write about. What if a whole history has disappeared? I asked. What if a whole landscape is a mystery? It's the same, she said. The Constellation principle applies to histories and places. She said I should really think about changing workshops. Thank you.